This is the National Pro Cup Championship, crown jewel late model competition. Here for the third race of the season, the Quaker State 100 at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Pepsi Max, proud sponsor of the pole award given to the fastest qualifier at each National Pro Cup Championship event. For today's race, it's the number 66 of Nate Patrick in the State Amazing Autosport machine. Starting alongside is the 99 of Roy Warren. In the third row is Joshua Michaels and John Quackenbush for Gravity Racing Incorporated as they head down into turn number 1. This is the first of 4 intermediate tracks that will be taking part in the National Pro Cup Championship this season. As Roy Warren moves around the outside to take over the lead from Nate Patrick, and Quackenbush follows suit in the 28 car, or at least tries to. This is one of those tracks that you can get around on the inside or the outside. It's a very unique racetrack. And here is one of the newcomers to the National Pro Cup Championship, although not exactly a newcomer to the racing world. This is Alexis Farr in the number 78 car for YDM America in a custom-built chassis, the Farr-built chassis, FA1. And needless to say, the paint scheme is not exactly the prettiest in the world, but here comes Farr on the outside of Roy Warren for the lead, coming out of turn number 2. And Alexis Farr with a little bit of pedigree herself. She has a couple of victories in what was once the RROL, now known as the National Racing Championship. So she brings some pedigree to the table here in the National Pro Cup Championship. Here's the guy we need to keep an eye on, though. This is Parker Witten. He had to start back in the 18th position due to a penalty at Albuquerque. And in just 4 laps, he's about to crack the top 3 as he charges into turns 3 and 4. Star Banner has a problem. After running in the 2nd position, she has an engine expire on the number 16 car. Tough break for the Power Steering Incorporated driver. Here's Chuck Johnson trying to battle with Alexis Farr for the lead of the race, with Parker Witten right behind Farr on the outside lane. Johnson finished 18th at Albuquerque after being involved in several incidents, dropping into 4th in the point standings, but looking to rebound with a great run here today, as Parker Witten blows by him around the outside and now sets his sights on Alexis Farr for the lead of the race. Witten's had a pretty decent season with 2 top 10 finishes, although he did have some snafus at Albuquerque, which landed him at the rear of the field along with 6 other cars. But he charges from 18th spot to the lead, and it only takes him, and I'm not kidding here, 7 laps. Very, very impressive by Parker Witten. Obviously the car to beat here today, and Alexis Farr in 2nd and Chuck Johnson in 3rd. On the flip side to that, your pole sitter for today, Nate Patrick in the State Amazing Autosport machine, has dropped all the way back to 18th place in just 8 laps. So obviously they had a qualifying set put on that car. Here's a guy we haven't expected him to be in the back today. Zach Gott in the 71, our current points leader for Gravity Racing Incorporated, currently finds himself in the 17th position. So haven't exactly found the setup for the 71, but it's still a long race yet. It's 100 laps, so they still have some time to figure it out, but so far it's not looking good. Conversely, his teammate John Quackenbush is currently running in the 4th position. Needless to say, for someone who had never raced on an oval before Albuquerque, he is doing a pretty good job considering his road racing background and not having any oval experience. He's certainly proven himself to be a good driver. His old ISCA arch rival Eric Drake Rider is currently running in the top 10 as well with the number 1 Red Bull machine. The winner at Albuquerque about a month ago, his first career victory in the NPCC, and it was a very surprising victory for him, to say the least. And he has the 56 of Sean Johnson running behind him in the top 10, and both of the Olympic racing cars running inside the top 10 as well. That'd be Ray Takita and Joshua Michaels. The 13 of Aubrey Wood running in the 5th position, but has the engine fail on the 13 car. Oh, tough break for Aubrey Wood, who finished 5th at Daytona, but crashed out at Albuquerque and now has another DNF here today. Here's quite the crowd battling for the number 10 spot. That's Nick Van Gilder in the number 60 car. Remember, made his debut in the Truck Series last year in the Rockford 100, finished 3rd. The 24 of Valerie Forts, the 90 of Andrea Lynn Caldwell. That's the 15 of Gianni Corelli, for Rossini Sport, the 51 of Isabella Messina, the 64 of Oime Yoshima, and the points leader, Zach Gott, for Gravity Racing Incorporated in the mix as well. So pretty tight battle here at the bottom half of the top 10 and into the top 15. A lot of really good drivers in this pack right now. At the 1/4 mark of the race, Parker Whitten continues to lead, and as you can see, his lead has extended to over almost 9 seconds. So this guy has something to prove here today. Here's Eric Drakerider getting past both of the Olympic racing cars to get into the top 5 and get up right behind his old friend and rival there, the Quackster, in the 28 car. And we do need to make a quick correction. Drakerider actually did have 1 podium in Dash Cup and 3 top 10s, as opposed to the 1 top 10 we reported at Albuquerque, so we apologize for that. Little mishap, but Drakerider now up into the top 5. However, Joshua Michaels has proven that he's got a good car here today, as well as his teammate Ray Takita. He has said before that he prefers these 1-mile racetracks or more, as opposed to short tracks and road courses, because he feels like that this team has the best chance to win on these types of tracks. And well, so far he's proven that they're good on these types of tracks, as they're running up inside the top 10, and into the top 5 goes Joshua Michaels. And it looks like Ray Takita is going to follow suit as she tries to get around Drakerider for the 6th position. And now Michaels has a run on Quackenbush for the number 4 spot. So the Olympic Racing team having their best outing of the season after having 2 very lackluster races, which has put them at the back of the point standings, but this is the type of run that they need. Alexis Farr in the very, very ice-horrific number 78 car in the custom Farr-built chassis with Nemoto engines. But regardless of how I think about the car, how it looks anyways, it's currently running in the top 3. Here is Valerie Forge coming in for a pit stop on lap 38. According to the team, this was scheduled. So apparently the 24 not getting as good a fuel economy as the rest of the cars. And the same goes for John Quackenbush, who has to come in for a pit stop on lap 43. So both the 24 and the 28, both not getting very good fuel mileage today, which is kind of surprising on both of their cases, considering the kind of pedigree that they have, being Power Steering Incorporated and Gravity Racing Incorporated. So, and this could really come back to bite them if this race goes green, as it's starting to have that look. And at the halfway point, Parker Whitten continues to lead, and look at how dominant he is. There are now just 6 cars on the lead lap at the halfway point, as Quackenbush is the first car 2 laps down at the moment after making his green flag pit stop. Speaking of green flag pit stops, Chuck Johnson, just past the halfway point, kicks off those green flag pit stops, as he can now make it on the rest of the way on fuel. Alexis Farr comes in, Joshua Michaels, Roy Warren, Zach Gott, Nate Patrick, Vinny LaBouffe, Betty Cox, Sean Sanchez, the 08 of Ray Takita, Drakerider is in. Whoa, that was a close call between those 2 cars. That's going to cost Drakerider a little bit, as he had to check up. And race leader Parker Whitten comes in, and when everything cycles out, Parker Whitten continues to lead the way, and he still has about a 10-second lead. Chuck Johnson continues to run 2nd, and Quackenbush actually moves up to 3rd place, despite having to make that pit stop using those fresher tires to get ahead of Alexis Farr. But Parker Whitten kind of runs into a little bit of a problem. He's encountered some lap traffic, which is pretty fast, and they've used the pit stops to kind of improve on their vehicles. With about 20 laps to go, both Quackenbush and Valerie Forge both have to make a second pit stop for fuel, so because this race has gone caution-free so far, their poor fuel mileage came back to bite them. With less than 10 laps to go, Parker Whitten continues to lead, but he is still being held up by all of these cars that are a lap down, and all of them are running in the top 5 in front of him. This has allowed Chuck Johnson to eat into the lead of Parker Whitten, the 10-second lead that he had, and he dives to the inside of Parker Whitten into turn 1 with 9 laps to go to take the lead from Parker Whitten, and Whitten is unable to do anything as he's stuck behind the 08 of Ray Takita. Needless to say, he was livid, but not really a whole lot the officials can do about it, considering that all 3 of those drivers were running for the 3rd position at the time. And as you can see, there are only 2 cars on the lead lap at the finish of this race. And Chuck Johnson, with a little bit of luck, steals the win from Parker Witten. Becomes the first repeat winner of the 2014 NPCC season. What a tough break for Parker Witten. Led 85 laps today, but comes up short due to lap traffic, which happens to be Eric Drakerider, Ray Takita, and Alexis Farr. They were all battling for that third and final spot, or the third spot rather, and that's a tough call for the officials to make right there. Zach Gott, despite all his problems today, comes home in 6th place, the mark of a championship caliber team. Joshua Michaels with his best outing of the season, so both of the Olympic racing cars in the top 10, good job by them. Roy Warren makes the second Michael Brown Racing team in the top 10. Nick Van Gelder finishes 9th, and Andrea Lynn Caldwell with her first career top 10 finish. Sean Johnson comes home in 11th. Isabel Messina, after her impressive runner-up finish at Albuquerque, comes home in the 12th position. Her teammate Oi Mishishima in the 13th position, Gianni Corelli in 14th. John Quackenbush and Valerie Forge, after having to make secondary pit stops for fuel due to the fact that this race went caution-free, comes home 15th and 16th, so tough break for those guys after having good runs. Betty Cox in 17th, Sean Sanchez 18th, Jennifer Duke in 19th, and Vinny LaBouffe comes home in the 20th position. And then rounding out the field, Nate Patrick in 21st, the pole sitter, didn't have a very good day today, and Aubrey Wood and Star Banner both went out of the race due to early mechanical problems. Here are the Rose Cup standings after 2 races. Eric Drakerider has a bit of a stranglehold on it at the moment. Parker Witten moves up to 2nd, just 20 points back. Zach Gott in his 3rd, 22 back. Van Gelder in 4th. Isabel Messina and Chuck Johnson tied for 5th. Roy Warren, Mishishima, Takita, and Quackenbush round out the top 10 in the battle for the Rose Cup. As far as the overall championship is concerned, Chuck Johnson has reclaimed the top spot with his 2nd win. Eric Drakerider remains in 2nd, just 4 points back. Zach Gott drops to 3rd, 10 back. Parker Witten jumps all the way up to 4th with this impressive runner-up finish, just 20 points back. Quackenbush is now 5th. Nick Van Gelder 6th. Isabel Messina, Sean Johnson, Oi Mishishima, and Roy Warren round out the top 10 after 3 races so far this season. The next race for the National Pro Cup Championship is a big one. One of the most anticipated of the season, the Chrono Watch's Long Beach Grand Prix on the streets of Long Beach, California. Thank you for joining us here today. I'm color commentator John Lyondike, and we'll see you next time.